and you're going to come against the so-called white man and prevail against him. Yeah. That's in the Bible.
Well, they're going to be dead. They're going to be locked up in concentration camps, and they're going to be dead.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is, as a nation, the nation of Israel, you're going to come, beginning with the elective nation of Israel, we're going to overcome the so-called white man and prevail against him and have him as slaves. It's all in the Bible. The same book that you scoff at. Now, would you know that? You wouldn't know that because you don't know the Bible, all right? That's why you should just shut the hell up, man.
I gotta preach all you finish yours.
The so-called head of Amin Ra, that clown, it looked like Hong Kong Fooey. Hey, he said somebody asked him a question that if the blacks were a great civilization, how did the white man, a weaker, inferior people take them over? He said because their metal or their steel was harder than theirs. So wait a minute. When the Kitty Hawk was what was the name of them two guys, the brothers? Wilbur and Orville Wright, right? They put a plane together, right, and it wouldn't fly, right? So they took out that metal, right, and they smacked it, and then all of a sudden it started flying, right? How the white man put all these computers and the internet and all these devices and so forth? They had that metal. They smacked it. Get that piece of metal. Pap! And it's, you know how stupid you guys, when you listen to what these guys say and you go to trace what they're saying and what documents they're using, it all goes back to the white man, and basically it goes around in circles. Now one of these guys can tell me their nationality, man. Now one of these guys, since the ancestors are with him, let the ancestor bring down a record of you going all the way back to Egypt, man. Okay?
Yeah, I got a quick precept. This is the book of, to back up the statement I made. This is the book of Jeremiah 30:10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob. Now that's talking about you so-called Negroes, man. You come out of Jacob. Jacob is your forefather. Saith the Lord, neither be dismayed. Because the state you're in, you're in a state of being dismayed. All right? You're at the bottom. I don't know if they told you, but you're at the bottom, all right? Even the so-called Chinese is over you. All the other nations, even the Africans are over you.
Yep.
All right? They don't want to associate with you. Okay? It says, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Is that not America? Were you not brought into captivity in America? And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. All right, this is the time we're approaching. But you don't want that, you know. I'm going to jump down to the 15th and the 16th verse. Right? Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Just like Elder Ramlab said, you went into captivity and slavery underneath these nations for your iniquity. What was your iniquity? Breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. All of that's in the Bible. All right? The same shit you're doing now. Because thy sins, what is sin? Transgression of the law. Where's the laws located? In the Bible. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. The Most High is telling you he did that to you. The reason why you're on the bottom is the Most High did it to you.
And that's why they shun that homosexual stuff, because that's in their spirit not to be homosexuals, man.
Right.
That's why you had all these black church leaders come against Barack Obama for passing a law that you can be openly gay and get married and all that. The black churches came against him because they, even though they're confused, they know enough that there's something wrong with being a homo, man.
That's right.
But now when you go back to the Egyptian history, you had them pharaohs that were getting it in with each other. I'm talking about men on men.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to read this, all right? It says, this is Jeremiah 7:19. Do they provoke me? And that's what you guys are doing. Do they provoke me to anger? Saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? You guys keep reading that book. Stop for a minute, man, and think. You read one book, and then the people that write them books are making money off of your stupid asses, man. You read one book and you get some facts out of the book, then you get some bullshit out of the book, and then you say, well, that's talking about me. And then you write a book And people will buy that book and get confused by your bullshit because you got that information from the white man. Okay?
That's it. Yep. I got one more verse. It says, because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Now, clearly in the Bible, the Most High is telling you niggas that all the things you're suffering, he did it to you. And why did he do it to you? Because of your forefathers breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments, and you breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments. The 16th verse, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, like the so-called white man, which is your adversary, he's not your friend, he's your adversary, he's your enemy, and all thine adversaries, all of them, every one of them shall go into captivity. Shall go into captivity. They're going into slavery underneath you. You don't even know that because you're busy dealing with those other stupid books when you should be dealing with the book, which is the Bible. Every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Like an example of spoil and prey is gentrification. That's the so-called white man conquering you over again. Wasn't Harlem supposed to be this black Mecca?
No.
Now how come when you go to Harlem now you see old so-called white men walking their dogs where you so-called Negroes used to be? And all those brownstones are now renovated. They got the state-of-the-art kitchens and all that shit. You didn't have that when you were living in Harlem. Shouldn't that tell you something?
That's right. Yeah, when you niggas were living there, and we know because we was in Harlem back in the early 90s, back when you had when the building 1 West 125th Street was still there. That was when Israel was in its prime, so to speak. That's back when all these guys were in there, in the school, Lahab, all of them. You know, back in the early 90s, that's when Harlem was still kind of so-called Harlem, 91, 92. I remember you had the vendors all the way from damn near, from the corner of 125th, what they call that, Lenox, man, all the way up to going down to Amsterdam or whatever. All up the strip where the state building is and going past the Apollo. From like, okay, both sides of the street. You had them so-called Africans. Jake was out there. And that was like a tourist attraction. Because people would come from, I mean, you had Edomites and people that used to come to Harlem, but Harlem was still Jake, but they wouldn't venture out into the neighborhoods. They would come to Harlem and they would just walk up 125th. Because that was a tourist attraction. That's the only time you saw Edomites in Harlem. They would come there because that was like a world famous thing. To come and see the vendors and stuff like that of the Apollo Theater.
Like a zoo attraction.
Yeah, like it was like a zoo attraction. And them tour buses that you see in New York, Apple Tours, they would pass through Harlem. I'd seen them driving through there.
Hey, they do the same thing in Africa. They got them, you stay in the car, you could watch the lions and shit. You could watch the baboons and the monkeys. That's what it was the same shit in Harlem, man.
Yep, but that's gone. But that's gone now. Like Elder Gabar brought out, that's called gentrification, man. Re-gentrification. So you dumb niggas, man, and then so Anetta and Polite and you talking about, yeah, come up to 120. We don't need to go up to 125th Street. First of all, the white man's up there now. Okay? Come to 125th.
Ain't nothing up there, man. The white man getting ready to kick you, bulldoze you out of there, man. You know? Anyway, I'd like you to get me these scriptures here. Let me see. Micah 6. Micah 6 and 3. And we're going to read down to about maybe 5, maybe 6. And then immediately after that, go to Numbers 22 and 22 and 5. All right? So read that one first. Okay, go ahead.
Micah 6 and 3. Micah 6 and 3. O my people, what have I done unto thee? And wherein have I worried thee? Testify against me.
The people of the Lord are the children of Israel, not the Kemetic people. Go ahead.
For I brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
You guys are trying to go back into Egypt, man.
That's right.
The Most High brought you out of the land of Egypt. Go ahead.
And redeemed thee out of the house of servants. And I sent before thee Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. O my people, remember now what Balak king of Moab consulted, and what Balaam the son of Beor answered him, from Shittim unto Gilgal, that ye may know the righteousness of the Lord.
That's it. Now let's go to Numbers.
This is the book of
Now you Moors claim that you're Moabites, right? Well, if we go back to the history of the Moabites, when and we're going to read about it, when the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, Bun Yasha'Allah,